Well, welcome. Here we are in the Office of Sacred Spaces, and I want to talk today about the availability of absolution in your world and show you something that happened to me recently. I use Firefox as my browser for the internet, and I had gone on Firefox and attempted to bring it up, and I couldn't get it to come up, and I tried and tried and tried. Finally, it took so long to bring it up that I actually could take a shower before it came up. So immediately I blamed myself. I must be doing something wrong. There's too much on my computer. I have a lot on this very hefty computer, and yet it does reach its limit. So I moved all of my videos off, put them on the external hard drive. I went in and brought up the disk defragmenter, defragged the disk, got all the files lined up in proper alignment, went into my McAfee security, did a complete virus scan to make sure there were no viruses. I was fine. Went out on the internet and started looking around to see if anybody was talking about this. Googled in the internet for various comments from people, and there weren't really any except on the Mozilla website. So I went to Mozilla, where Firefox is, and took a look at what was coming up there, and there were a lot of people who were having the same problem. So I went ahead and typed in their little box there, my problem. Has anyone come up with a fix for the hanging Firefox 3.0.7? And posted my question to the mix of the thread. And no one really came up with an answer, including their technical person who has a handle there of quarantine. So I really didn't know what to do, short of to use another browser, which I didn't want to do because I have everything bookmarked and everything set up just the way I want it to be in Firefox. So I knew there was one thing I could do. And this is where we start to merge the mystical with the day-to-day. So I took the computer, I did a little research on who runs Mozilla, how that company is actually put together, and found out there's a foundation behind it rather than just a regular for-profit company. So I did an absolution ritual for the foundation, for the developers of the program, knowing that there was no malintent behind anything that they did. There was no intentional wrongdoing. Somewhere along the line, someone has made an error in the programming, and they're not finding it. So having done that, I let it go and did not attach myself to what the outcome was going to be. It was the only thing I could do to unburden myself of constantly attempting to use a browser that didn't work. Sometime later the next day, I decided to give it another try, went in and clicked on my little icon on my desktop, and boom, up came Firefox. No problem. So I tried it several more times to make sure it wasn't just a fluke. No, everything is fine. So I went back into the forum to see if anybody else had resolved it for themselves. No one has. So I put into the forum mix, into the thread, what I had accomplished, what I had done, how I had done it, and suggested that other people do it as well. Well, what I got back as comments were the anger, or I should say was the anger, that people were experiencing in the frustration of not being able to attain that which they wish to accomplish through putting their message out to Firefox. One person said, "We do not forgive, we do not forget." Someone else said that they would try the absolution ritual and then came back and said, "Ha, it didn't work." And just the various comments that anger and frustration bring up for you. So why didn't it work? Why did it work for me and why didn't it work for them? Well, it's not because I'm special. It's simply because I know what absolution connotes. It means that I truly, in my heart, feel that there is nothing incorrect here. There is no wrongdoing. And if it didn't work, it would still be okay with me. I'd simply resign myself to using another browser. And it would be fine because there would be nothing I could do and I would not be angry about it. And it's the anger and the frustration that begins to undermine undermine the idea of absolution. It keeps you from actually going into your heart space. It leaves you incoherent so that the waves in of your wavelength, the troughs, the crests are uneven. And as that is being experienced within you, you know that you are not in a state of absolution. You know that you're in a state of anger and that there isn't anything that you're really absolving, that you're simply holding yourself in this space of wanting something to happen and that you can't accomplish it. So I would suggest that you go on my website to the page that I'm going to link to the end of this movie and practice the ritual of absolution to use in your life, because as you can see, you can really take absolution straight to the bank. It'll work every time. Thank you and good night.